I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You watching Casino is the name. I'm live right now. Hopefully you guys get the notifications. It's been a minute since I actually went live. I was, setting my stuff back up here and trying to decide like if I was gonna get an actual place to record out of, like a studio or not. But I decided that nope, we're gonna come back here to one of my original locations here in my dining room. And basically, this video was actually inspired by a conversation, like most of my previous videos, pretty much inspired by real world situations. So I was in a conversation with a business person that I know that I highly respect in the field that they're in. And most of the people who I bring on this channel, I try to bring people who I know actually do the job or do the business or are in the career that they're speaking on. So, in case you don't know, on this channel, we talk about business, entrepreneurship, real estate, trucking, career stuff. If going to school, education, we talk about a lot of different things. Government contracts is also one that we speak on. And so when it comes to certain things, I just personally don't like for people who don't do something to be speaking on it. And I know it's going to happen, right? People are going to teach you how to, they're going to sell you a course on how to fly kites, and they've never flown a kite. It's just going to happen, right? And of course you try to do it, or you try to figure out if a person is really who they say they are. Now, this conversation that I was having was about, well, basically, who is the biggest person in this government contracting space, right? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It was about government contracts, right? And so the question was, who's the biggest person in this government contract space? And the only reason I'm saying this was the question is because let's say some people had an issue with each other. I'm just using this as a hypothetical, right? But let's just say some people had an issue with each other and it was in the government contracting space. And so I was like, oh, well, who's the bigger person? Well, it just kind of came up like about like, man, this other person probably shouldn't have said anything back even because they're giving a spotlight to this person who's talking about them. And I really been kind of out of the limelight when it comes to social media lately, as far as YouTube, Instagram, things like that. I've just kind of been working, building up my own personal enterprises and things like that, growing in my career. And, I just haven't had a lot of time. I'm tired. I'm working 6-7 days a week. I'm putting them hours in. I'm doing my thing. I love what I am doing from a place of, I always wanted to be a business person. From a child, I wanted to be a businessman. I didn't even really fully know what that was, but I wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to wear suits to work. I wanted to, be in a respectable career ever since I was a kid. So I'm loving the opportunity to just be in business, no matter whether or not that's being an employee or being an entrepreneur or whatever it is. I'm in business. I am loving the opportunity to live out like a childhood fantasy. So, in this social media realm, I've kind of been a little, I guess, in the background. So I was talking to somebody and they were telling me how these people were beefing on, online and they were both in government contracting space. And so I was like, well, the person should have said something to the other one. Well, who's bigger, who's a bigger person in government contracts? Or whatever. Now, this isn't saying that they're the biggest people in government contracts. I was just like, okay, well, if they're in competition and, who's the bigger person? And that's from this person probably shouldn't say anything back because they're already a much bigger person in the space. of government contracts. When I'm telling you, when I realized that these people who we're referring to aren't doing government contracts. We weren't actually talking about the biggest person. When I realized that we weren't actually talking about who's the biggest person in government contracts. I mean, not necessarily the biggest person, but who's the bigger of the two people in government contracts. When I realized we were not actually talking about people who actually were doing government contracts, I was highly upset, or disappointed, because neither one of them in government contracts to me. You're not, to me, in the space of the thing, like me, like I was in trucking, right? I am no longer in trucking myself. I know a ton about trucking. I can teach you how to start your own trucking authority. I can teach you how to get loads. I can teach you all kind of stuff. But I am not currently in trucking, right? I wouldn't claim that I am a bigger person in trucking, even if somebody is not on social media. Let's say they got 1 subscriber and I got 40-something thousand subscribers, like I have, right? And I'm doing a video about trucking. I am not bigger in trucking than a person who has 1 truck and is picking up 1 load a week or 1 load a month, because I am not actively in trucking. I am just a person talking about trucking. So my partner Kelly, they like to call themselves gurus, because they do, instead of gurus, they're saying that they are gurus because they do what it is that they're teaching about. Right? There is a huge difference to me. I just personally, no, can we learn from people? Can you learn from me about trucking? Yes. Can you learn from me about real estate? Yes. I have a problem when somebody is claiming to be the biggest person in real estate and they don't own any real estate. I can't understand it. And I don't actually, in the islands, we say we don't rate you, so I can't rate you. It's like I can't rate you as one of the top guys in the thing if you're not in the thing. Now, could you be one of the top people who teach about it? Yes. But I can't rate you because I like in the business itself. If you don't do the business, you got to do the business. You got colleges, right? And they have guidance counselors. And I respect the guidance counselors. They can be great guidance counselors. But you have guidance counselors who are telling people who are in school for accounting, like myself when I was in the school, I'm an accountant. So you have people who are telling accounting majors or students who are in accounting what they can do for a living and what they need to do in order to advance their career in accounting. And I'm not saying that they can't be told this, that the guidance counselors can't be told this, and the guidance counselors can't guide them to a degree, but most of those people have never worked in any industry besides guidance counseling. So it's like, I can tell you so much better, more than likely, about what you should be doing to guide your career in accounting than a person who doesn't have an accounting degree, who has never worked in the field. Even if they have an accounting degree, but they've only worked in education, it is like, does it make any sense? Like, and they can be bigger in guidance counseling. They can be bigger in education department. But to say that they're the biggest accountant because they have an accounting degree and they teach people about accounting in class doesn't make them a bigger accountant. They don't do anything when it comes to accounting. You can't claim to be the biggest accountant or a bigger accountant than somebody else because you have a bigger social media following. You don't actually do it. There's a lot of frauds out here. And I know it started with the government contracts thing, but it just bothered me so bad because I'm like, wait, I don't care if you used to do it. I used to do things too. I used to do government contracts. I can have a bigger following than a lot of people. But if I don't have any current contracts, I am not living off of the thing. How am I going to claim I'm the biggest here It doesn't, well, I'm the top guy in the thing. No, you're not even in the thing. You're teaching about the thing. It's not the same. Now, if you're somebody who's actually still living off the money you make from government contracts or still winning contracts and you also teach about it, that's a different thing. That is a different thing. But that's just my opinion. Hold on, I see a comment. Dang, I can't really. Let me try and see if I can see it on my phone. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me see. All right, hold on, I'm pulling it up. All right, so everything by John says, Casino, Happy New Year, my guy. It's crazy because my latest endeavor is acquiring a cash flowing business. That's what I've been focusing on the past 2 weeks. Hey, that's dope. A cash flowing business. You know, acquisition is an awesome way to I'm trying to make sure my thing is focused. But yeah, acquisition is an awesome way to grow in business. A lot of people would tell you to start by buying a business first. A lot of top business people I know, they say that's the way, like to just buy a business that's cash flowing or buy an operating business and then grow that, sell it and buy something else and just keep growing that way. CEO Trico says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of y'all. Happy New Year, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all of that. Let's get this money. All right. Mike Rodriguez, 7570 says, what's good, King Hippo? Hey, what's poppin'? What's good? But yeah, so I'm just saying, and I love you guys' opinion. Now, can somebody teach you about a business that they know about, whether or not they were in the business or not? Yes, they can absolutely do that. They can absolutely do that. Absolutely. I can teach you how to start a dump trucking company right now. I never had dump trucks. I can teach you how to do it though, right now. Could that make me the biggest person in the space of teaching about it? Possibly, depending on how many students I've had. Could it make me very impactful in the space of whatever it is that I'm teaching? Absolutely. But I can't claim to be the biggest in the dump trucking business. You know, I just teach about the business. It's different. It's different. We got to start holding some people accountable, man. You guys are just letting people run away with this stuff. We got to stop doing that. We got to like, hey, do you do the thing you say you do that you're teaching about? Like currently, not like 10 years ago, not last month. Do you do this still? Are you still going out trying to get clientele? Or are you just, because that is a difference for me. That is a difference for me. I was so disappointed that we had wasted time discussing people who do not actually do the thing that it is. And I wasn't thinking that like, oh, these are going to be the biggest guys in the world in, say, government contracts or whatever. I wasn't thinking that. But I am comparing them to say, well, who's doing more business? And we're not talking about who's doing business. We're talking about who is more of an influencer in the space. I don't care who's more of an influencer in this space, because I'm going to be honest. I got to be honest. I don't want to, I don't know who has whatever kind of business. I do not believe in going to seminars and things like that, right? I don't really do that. I don't really go to conferences, things like that. I don't really do those things. I know people love to do those things, but people knew that I was doing government contracts. People knew that I was doing trucking. And you know what they used to say? Hey, are you going to go to the government contracting seminar that's coming up in Atlanta? They might be people from out of town. So they're coming to Atlanta and they're saying, hey, are you going to be at this government contracting event that they're going to teach about government contracts? Are you going to be at, an EYL event or Earn Your Leisure event? Are you going to be at this event? Are you going to be at this? Are you going to be at a HIM 500 event? Are you going to be at a... No. Why would I go there? I'm busy. I am working in the space. I got a $300,000 contract that's due, that I got 5 months to complete. What are you talking? Why would I go there? What? We got 4 more contracts. Like, we got another, why am I going to this seminar? I don't need, I'm doing it. We're remodeling houses, right? Let's say, well, are you going to come to the real estate event? Where they talk about like getting into like remodeling. No, I'm remodeling a house. I'm flipping a house right now. I flipped the house. Got my $50,000, $54,000 or whatever it was profit. Like, but I flipped the house. Well, it was more like 20,000 profit. Probably put like 30,000 in it. But that's not the point. The point is, I'm actually doing it. Why am I there learning about how to do it? I'm doing it. I don't understand that. Now, I can understand if I'm somebody who's trying to get into it and I want to learn about it because I'm not actually doing it. But why am I there? Why am I at a Rick Ross business event? Why am I here? I have no reason to be here. I'm not just wanting to be around entrepreneurship to be cool. Why am I here? This is not like for some people it might be helpful. For me, I'm like, what do you mean? I need to be, if I want to learn about construction, I need to be on a construction site, doing construction. We're on the construction site. We're actually here putting bricks on the building. Why am I going to go? Because I do this, I'm doing construction. You think that I should, because you don't do construction, so you're like, hey, are you going to be at the construction event? What construction event? You don't have to go to that. You need to go do construction. you need to go do that. Now, can you make some good connections? Yeah, I'm sure. There's probably some people everywhere where you can make these kind of connections and stuff like that. But why am I here? I mean, I can make connections outside of this. Let's say Tim Mercer. Tim Mercer made $75 million in 7 years with the 8A. Tim Mercer, somebody I know. I did not meet Tim Mercer at a event. Now, would Tim Mercer might be at an event? Quite possibly. He quite possibly could be at an event. But you can meet guys like Tim Mercer and hang out with guys like Tim Mercer at his office personally without this event, without this show going on. And if you just are in the space of doing things, I am just out doing things and I meet Tim Mercer. I was doing a government contract one time at FLETC, Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. It was a masonry contract. We were out there and I was doing videos talking about government contracts and showing, hey, we out here on the job site. And just like, hey, yeah, I'm out here. I got my team and you got guys in the background who working with me and stuff, with my company and stuff. So it's like, hey, I'm doing this thing. So I was doing videos and then I go to FLETC on a contract and I'm trying to get my guys access to the base. Because it's like we're all federal law enforcement trained. So we're trying to get our guys access to the base, get their badges and stuff. And so while standing there, it was two guys getting in or out of a truck or whatever. And the guy said, hey, you're really here. And I was like, what do you mean? And because, I'm in work mode, right? We got hard hats in the car and stuff like that. He said, yo, you really here. You talk about that government contract stuff, bro. But I do them too, but I just ain't on videos and stuff. But you really here. You really one of them ones, bro. You not really just talking. You really do this. Yeah, I do. I didn't even think about it from that standpoint. But now I'm having to think about it because there's so many people talk about things that they not really doing. And we got a problem. And y'all need to start holding these people accountable for this foolishness. All right? Now, it's okay if you don't do it for real, right? I'm not mad at that. There's plenty of things I might talk about that I don't do. But I'll let you know I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm like, yes, you can make $100 million and you don't ever have to have a business set up. You don't ever, it's like, yeah, and these things could be true, but they'll speak about it and we'll like it and it can be great information, and we can learn a lot, and you can change your life. You can literally change your family life. But we still got to say, you can't be the biggest in this thing if you're not doing it. You're not doing it. You might be a great teacher. And we need to just place people in the teaching category, in the education space. You can educate. There's nothing wrong with educate. I just want people to know, hey, just because you see somebody on social media, they got a lot of followers, they speak well, that's it. It stops there. They speak well, they teach about it, they have great information, and they might even be better, much better teachers than the people who are actually out here doing it. But I don't see how. It's very few people that I know who actually are doing the real thing. And I'm an influencer, right? I've been doing videos for many years now. And I can tell you, I know a lot of influencers. A lot of them are just influencers. That's it. That's it. That's all. Their primary business is influencing. They convince you to go out and buy a particular car. They convince you to go out and get in a particular business. Mind you, one of which they're more than likely not in, okay? I done had a trucking company. I'm an accountant. I got a professional certification now. I worked in the industry. I've worked at the highest level of audit in the world. I flipped houses. I've been a landlord for over 10 years previous to now. I'm no longer a landlord. Well, okay. I do like room rentals here and there and stuff like that, but not like a full landlord. I've had a Section 8 client. I've done this. I've done that. I can speak to a lot of things, but how can I say I'm going to be the biggest person in Section 8 rentals when I don't have any? When I don't have any. I might have did one, but I can teach you all about it. I am the #1 source for Section 8. I mean, maybe I am for information. Maybe I am for information. But it needs to stop there. And y'all got to help me hold these folks. These folks is getting away with all kind of stuff. All right? They're getting away with all kind of stuff. You know, these people are telling you to get CPNs and do this and scam your way to the top. Oh, it's perfectly legal. You can do it until you get arrested. Why they ain't getting arrested? Because they ain't doing it. They not doing it. You got to be smarter than this. You guys got to be, like people, I'm not saying y'all. I'm not saying, I know the people who are watching this channel, you guys are some of the smartest people in the world, all right? You guys are some of the elite. Matter of fact, share this video if you get a chance. Matter of fact, please smash the like button. Because anybody, please smash the like button. This is crazy. We got a couple people on here. Please smash the like button for me. But you guys are some of the smartest people on the planet because you're even here watching this video right now. You know I'm telling the truth. But I know a lot of influencers. Very, very few are doing the thing. Very few are doing the thing. Almost none. Now, can people still counsel you? Can they still answer calls and questions for you if, like, you have a question, say, about trucking? Somebody call me, I can say, yes, I can tell you start to finish how to get into trucking. I can tell you exactly where to get loads from. I can tell you how to make money in it. I can do that. I am not the biggest person in trucking. I am not even in trucking. You see what I'm saying? I'm not in trucking. There is a different space for people who are educators and people who are actually doing the thing. Now, they're educating and they're doing the thing. Now, I will say, okay, maybe, all right, now you doing the thing at least. But we got to put people where they are. We just got to put people where, these people are not doing the thing that they teaching you about. Very few. Very few. Can you get good information? Absolutely. You can get great information. But they're not doing it. They're not doing it. I don't want to, like, me personally, I can never rate you if you're not doing the thing. I am currently not doing a lot of these things that I have experience in, and I could teach you a lot of stuff. But if you go back and you look at the history of my channel, you have seen that I have recorded me out doing the thing that I'm talking about, remodeling the house. I'm in a house that is junky and run down, and then over time you can keep watching videos and you see the house get painted and the floor get redone and this, and I'm in there sweating. I'm not looking good. I'm not looking good when I'm doing this. I'm actually doing it. I can talk about my experiences now. I can tell you, hey, well, this is how you could do it, right? So at least I have that, but I'm not the guy, I'm not the #1 house flipper. I am not. I was not, I flipped the house. You know, I flipped the house. But can I say I was a house flipper? Yes. But I'm not the #1 house flipper on the internet. Like I could do 1,000 videos and talk about it. And this is what influencers are doing. They're doing 1,000 videos, talk about maybe one experience that they had in their life, and they talking like they the biggest people in the world. I'm not gonna call no names, but somebody was once calling themselves, I don't want to do that. I'm not messing like that. See, I don't want to call people names. You know, I'm not, that ain't the energy I want to give. I don't want to give that kind of energy. I'm just saying we got to start being smart about this. But I will say, I'm not going to say their name, but I'll say the person was very, very prominent in the real estate space. I'll say that, right? And the person was, I'm gonna use a fictitious name, right? But let's just say the person called themselves the Dunn daughter of real estate. Like, no, that's bad. That don't even sound good. Scratch that. We're gonna pause on that word. That's phrase. Let's say they called themselves, because I don't want to use something that somebody actually using. So, because I don't know what they really using it. I don't want this to be misconfused or something like that. But let's just say they call themselves the king of real estate, right? The king of real estate. And they didn't have any real estate. They didn't have, I had 2 houses. I had a rental house. That was my first house. It was a $50,000 house I bought back in like 2009 when my son was born in December. And that house, which is the house that I remodeled and flipped and sold, that house, I had that house and I had it rented out and I had another house. This person was calling themselves the king of real estate. And I had more real estate than they did. You know, if you had one house, you had more real estate than them. And that's just even if you just lived in your own house. You had more real estate than this particular person who was living in a bando, a squatter. Wasn't even supposed to be there. 0 real estate, but throw a suit on, turn the camera on, king of real estate. This is, and also influenced thousands of people. Huge influencer. Influenced thousands of people to get into real estate. And everybody's watching them like, wow, this guy's amazing. But it's not. But the king of real estate, come on. Do you know how much real estate Warren Buffett has? Do you know how much real estate Bill Gates has? They're not doing videos about how to get into real estate. We have to be smarter. We have to wake up. Hold on. I got some messages. Let me see what y'all saying real quick. CO Trickle says, what you on nowadays? What you on nowadays? What's new? I'm going to tell you. Sheena says, you can just share your experience. Don't have to be the biggest. Yeah, you don't got to be the biggest. You can share your experience. You can absolutely share your experience. So who's out here saying that they're the biggest? Who pissed off casino? Nah, call them out. Nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't calling nobody out. I'm just saying. I want us here, I want us to hold some people accountable. I don't care if you got one of the smallest real estate portfolios, okay? Yeah. Are you actually out here doing this thing right now? Sure, let's talk about it. Are you talking about it from your experiences? Or are you just teaching people how to do it? Great. But don't call yourself Mr. the King of Remodels when you haven't remodeled a house since '82. Okay? What are you doing here? Why are you here? What are you talking about? Huh? Why are you doing this? I don't care if you know how to do it. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? You talking about it just more lucrative, or did you not enjoy it? Did you retire out from it? Like, I don't know what it is, but we got to start putting things where they are. Could you be the biggest teacher in the space? Absolutely. But you got to, for me, that's just me. I just can't see it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like with Kelly them, they say they call themselves the gurus because they also realize there's a lot of people out here calling themselves gurus and saying that they do a thing or they can teach you a thing or they teach a thing, and they're running with titles like King of Real Estate, which is not anybody that I know of title. I'm sure somebody is out there actually calling themselves that. I'm not talking about them because I'm using a name that is not necessarily related to the situation I'm talking about, but they're using monikers like this, and they don't actually do the thing. They don't do it. So of course, I'm gonna take offense to it because we're actually out here doing things. And then, of course, like I said, I'll talk about things and I don't do it. And I'll let you know I don't do it. Oh, by the way, what am I doing right now? So right now I am, so I just got my certification, my sister certification. So I'm a certified information system auditor. I am working on, well, I just got my stuff back so that I can sit and start taking the CPA exams. It's 4 exams that I got to take, but I haven't started taking them yet. I actually haven't even started like studying for it yet, but I do plan on opening a CPA firm at some point. But currently I'm working in leadership. I can't really speak on where and stuff like that, but I work in leadership right now, and I want to continue to progress in that space. I really, really enjoy inspiring and helping people get to the next level of their life. I really enjoy that, mentoring, things like that. I enjoy those things. I believe that most organizations, most people would benefit from having quality leadership. Those are the things that I want to bring to the forefront. Those are the things that I've been working on. Imagine being a very smart person and working for dumb people. I know it's probably inevitable, right? It's probably inevitable. We're probably gonna have to do that, but it is what it is. But yeah. So I want to make sure that people know or thinking about, who am I actually watching here? Who am I following? Is this person really doing this thing? You know, or are they just talking about it? And it's fine if they're just talking about it, but don't act like you the king of this. Don't do that. Don't say, hey, I'm the #1 spot for information. Maybe you are. Who knows? Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. Maybe that's just people say all kind of stuff. People use all kind of things to get you to buy into it, stuff like that, right? So, and then it makes it difficult when somebody is real. Let's say I'm a real person. I am really, like I really did things. That's what I'm saying. I've seen people at job sites who are also working in the space, and they were like, yo, you really out here. You really do government contracts. And they were a real contractor, right? It's a couple of people I had bumped into. But I'm just saying, this particular person was like, man, you like the only one that I seen. And that's, of course, that's gonna be isolated because of the type of contracting that they were doing, and mine just aligned in the right place, right time, that kind of thing. But I'm not out here claiming to be the biggest person in contracts, accounting, this. I'm not the person claiming to be that. You know what's crazy about social media? When I got my accounting degree, I was doing videos about accounting. Okay, I was doing videos about accounting because, honestly, to be honest, it was the only videos that people watched. I don't know. I was doing all kind of videos about, like, let's go to Waffle House. Let's go to, I'm doing vlogs, going to Applebee's, and nobody was watching it. Nobody was watching it. And one day, I did a video, I'm driving home, and I'm like, yeah, I just completed my accounting degree, you know what I'm saying? I've been working hard on it. And that video did like a couple thousand views. And I was like, I don't know what just happened. Maybe I'm famous. I don't know. I think I'm famous. So I did another vlog. Hey, let's go to Walmart. And nobody watched that. It was like 3 views, and people was like, what? Like, and so I was like, okay, well, I did some other stuff. I was like, dang, I guess I'm not famous. And then another day, I just randomly, oh yeah, so I'm sitting here studying or whatever I was doing, just talking about accounting, and that video did numbers again. So that's when I was like, oh, they want to hear accounting videos. So I did a bunch of accounting videos. I graduated and I recorded, like, I had the video of me graduating. I had made it like, just me walking across the stage, put some music behind. I was going crazy with the accounting stuff. Just, oh, you can get this kind of job with an accounting degree. And so I was the top if you searched accounting degree, I had like the top 7 videos. I wasn't number 1. I was like 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then there'll be other people. But I had a lot of videos that was ranked in the top 10. And those videos started doing crazy. One of them, my biggest video is called Finance Degree versus Accounting Degree versus Economics Degree. That video is over 200-some thousand views. I think maybe like 250,000 views, just that one video. And so I go to work, and the guy who I work with, now I was a brand new employee. I had just got a job like in the space, right? Well, this is my second job in the space, but I was like my second year. And the guy I work with was like, yo, you the biggest accountant in the world right now. And I'm like, that's crazy because I just graduated, right? But social media made me popular, right? But I wasn't really, I was actually working in the space though too. But still, like, I wasn't like doing the biggest, I wasn't getting the most money. I was probably the lowest paid in Atlanta in the space. I was actually, if you looked it up, I was the lowest paid out of everybody in the whole city of Atlanta. And so for the thing in the organizations that I was working for, but I was brand new, okay? I'm not there no more, all right? But like, I was just like, dang, it's crazy how social media can make it look like I'm the biggest person in the world in this. And I'm not. The biggest people are probably not on social media. And could I show you how to come up? Yeah, but not to be the top person. And we got to start just remembering who, what it is we watching. Are there amazing people? Yes, there are some amazing people who really doing their thing. There's some amazing people who really doing their thing, But then again, there are some people who are just talking. They just talking. They just talking. I never claimed to be the biggest accountant in the world. And I was actually working in accounting at least, right? But people in social media, it's influential, I guess. But we gotta start saying, hey man, what do you do? Do you really do it? Like even people who've claimed to make, I hate to say this, I'm not gonna say it. I'm still trying to not say certain things, right? But somebody said, well, this person over here, this lady over here, they don't do that thing either, but they were successful. And I said, well, how do we know they were successful? And they made millions of dollars. Well, how do we know they made millions of dollars? Well, they said it. That's how we know they made millions of dollars. That's it. That's all the requirements it is. That's all we require of people. Now we see how much people lie. If you could turn the news on, you see how much people lie. All right, it's apparent, right? But we're just listening to them say that they made $1 million, they made 10 million, or I made 100 million. You know what? See, this is the problem. I know, so for a better sense of the word, I don't like to say I'm smart. It just sounds taboo, but I'm smart, right? I just don't like how it sounds because it sounds pompous or something, but I'm smart. I was gifted, highly intelligent, things like that. I know enough to know that I don't know anything. I've seen enough to know I've never seen anything, right? Which only means that I know how easy it is to be manipulated. I can be manipulated, you can be manipulated. People don't like the fact that they can be manipulated or they acknowledge the fact that they can be manipulated, but we can all be manipulated. So I know that if I just wanted to be a liar, I could just go around bragging about how much money I've made when I haven't made any money. Well, I have made some money, but I'm just saying, if I wanted to just start saying, guess what, guys? I just closed on $100 million deal. You guys are going to see me for a while. And when you do, You know, just know things are going to be different. I'm so humbled. Thank you, God, for everything that you've done for me and my family. And I mean, get in the comment section. Let me know if y'all still want me to do these videos. I just don't know what to do with myself right now. I'll give you guys the details on that thing later. And you know what? Join my Patreon if you really want to know what I did, you know, and people will believe it. It's that simple, right? It's that simple. People will believe it. And the problem is you don't know what's real if real was looking at you. I'm real, by the way. But if I'm talking to you, you don't know the real. I did a video where I was talking about how much money I made on a contract, and somebody was like, but tell them the truth. Tell them the struggles that you took to get there. Tell them how many losses, how many times you bid on a contract and you didn't get it. Tell them about that. Tell them how hard it was for you to get a contract. And stop lying to these people. Tell them the full truth. And the truth was, whatever they thought that I had to do to get a contract, I didn't. I had never bid on a contract. I didn't have to bid on a contract. I was a sub on a contract to Sheena. Sheenapreneur. I was a sub to her company. I was actually a sub to her company for that first contract. And it was a cash flowing contract. I think I was getting like, damn, I wish I could remember. I think it was like $10,000 a month from that contract, right? And it was a litter pickup contract that she subbed to somebody else and I got it subbed from them. And I was making $10,000 and I was subbing the work out to my brother who was doing the work for $6,000. I was profiting $4,400, I think it was, per month. It was like $10,600 or something. I can't remember exactly the numbers, but it was like something like that. But I was profiting like $4,400 profit per month without even going on site, right? And I was the sub of a sub. I was the sub of a sub, and then I subbed. So it was like 4 levels of subs going on or something, 3, 4 levels. So I was, you know, and I was still profitable, right? But I didn't go out and compete for that contract. I got another contract directly to her company. And that contract was $300,000. And I didn't compete for that. It was like, hey, I need some help. Can you do it? Can you pull a team together? That was my way. But they thought that I was lying about my process. Now, Sheena go out and bid and other people go out and bid and they really do that, right? I didn't do that. I didn't do it that way. And then when I actually was, I got a prime. I was a prime on a micro contract. The guy had seen me do some work. He was like, yo, can you do some work? I'm gonna, submit me a proposal of how much you'll charge me to get rid of this stuff. Throw these bags away. And that was still, I think I got like $2,400 for that. And was it 24? It was like 24. I know I was getting like $800 an hour and it was like 3 hours. So, but I had my little team and we got whatever. But that's regardless. I'm not trying to talk about money. The point that I'm trying to make is people don't know what's real and what's not. They thought that I was lying. And the people who are lying, they don't know that they lying. Like it's ridiculous, right? I mean, and there's no real one way to figure it out. You just kind of want to trust people and stuff. But how do we vet people? I don't even know. Because like I was saying, they were talking about this lady, she might make millions of dollars, or she said she made millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I was like, but how do we know? And then it's like, well, I don't know. She said it. And it's like, that's it? That's it. All right. That's all we got. Everybody, is that all we doing? We just believing? We just believing. Hold on, let me see. Let me see what y'all saying. Hold on, let me catch up. Small City Adventures 2300 said a lot of people lie online. Most. Everything by John says shout out to Sheena. For sure. For sure. But the reality is, it's so many liars. It's so many liars, and then we don't know who's telling the truth. And we don't have a way of actually telling the truth. I just want people to not be too gullible, not so gullible, you know? Don't be so gullible. You know, as you know, we talk about AI, right? So I'm a certified information system auditor. Let's just use the term auditor. I'm a certified auditor, right? Which means that I'm a professional auditor, and I have been so for many, many years, right? And in audit, we have to audit you. like not necessarily you. It could be a business, it could be you, it could be your company, it could be your locations, whatever it is. The difference between, say, AI and auditors, for AI to replace us, AI would have to be able to see you, like come and see you, right? So like, the reason why I'm saying is because there are things like, you say you need money to invest in a house, or you have a business location, and you send me a picture of your office. Because I'm like, well, I live in Atlanta, you live in New York, you say you got an office, or maybe you don't even live, let's say I live in Atlanta, you live in Atlanta, and you say your office building is up the street on whatever street, and you have an office in there. As an auditor, I can walk to that, well, not walk, I can go to your office and walk inside and go to your office that you say you have. I may get there and the building don't exist. Believe me, there's times where people have said they have an address and it's a vacant lot. And you don't know it until you actually go down there and actually see the vacant lot. Even if you're on Google Maps and stuff like that, you can be like, I think it's here, but I don't, maybe it's across the street. Maybe you're trying to figure it out because you're not really there to say, nope, there's nothing here. It's really nothing here. This is a fraud. AI would have a hard time being able to lay eyes to see if something is real or not. And even humans, us, are so easily manipulated, we can look at things and still not see it. That's what magic is. Magic shows, the sleight of hand. That's what that is. The eyes play tricks on you. It is very difficult to know if somebody's telling the truth or not. Highly difficult. By the way, could you guys please smash the like button if you haven't already? Let's see. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Yeah, all right, cool. Anyway, I just figured I just need to get that off my chest. I just need to get that off my chest. I need to get it off my chest. By the way, what do you guys think? You think I should make more videos like this? Think I should make more videos like this? So I try to bring on, like you don't see a lot of people who are necessarily influencers on my channel. You know, I have some real relationships with people like JT them and stuff like that, Stan Banks. I have some real relationships where I know these guys, and they're also big influencers, and I bring them on my channel and we'll talk and stuff like that. But I tend to only bring people that I know do things. Kelly them, I know that they were doing that before I brought them to social media. Like before I introduced them to social media, they was already flipping houses. Now they with Shaq, you know. Now they with 85 South Show. They on there. They with Desi Banks. They're doing that, you know, now. But when I met them, they was just doing flipping houses. They was popping tops, going up another floor on a house to add more square feet to double the house. Like they were doing stuff. I was just there walking the streets with them, and I'm like, yo, I got to put a camera on this, because they were doing it for real. So those are the people that I'm bringing to the space, and they're really doing it. They also teach it now, but they're doing it for real. And I know them. I'm not the guy who's like, let me just get the next social media influencer on here who's teaching about something. No, I'm talking to people who actually do the thing. I'm talking to people who actually do the thing. Like, why am I bringing somebody on here to talk about trucking if you don't have a fleet? Why am I doing this? Like, why? What are you doing here? Why would I? Because I mean, it's fine, you can teach, but why would I be doing? Well, because how do I know? Because if I don't know them, you know what I'm saying? If I don't know them, how do I know that they actually were a trucking company? And that's how, say, like the king of real estate infiltrated so many things, because he's talking a good game, but we don't really know him. Like the people who introduced him to the world, they don't really know him. You know, they know who he says he is now, but they didn't actually see him doing the real estate. He was just talking the real estate, but we didn't see the real estate. We didn't actually drive up to it and him take his key, open the door, show us the name on his documents. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things that I recommended for Kelly and Gene was people care about the money. At the lowest level, we care about the money. Like, let's be honest. We want some money. All right, that's why we're watching business stuff. That's the core of the whole focus. If you want my undivided attention, show me that you made $12 million last year. Oh, let me take my jacket off. You did what? Oh no, I'm doing what you did. You see what the I think it was the guy on Wolf of Wall Street said. Show me what you do, and I'll quit my job and just be what you know. I want to do what you're doing. I saw what you pulled up in. I saw you got some money. All right? I ain't never seen money before. Okay? So I'm doing whatever you doing. I need to know how to do it. I don't care what it is. I'm doing that. I don't care. And so so at the core, people care about money at the simplest form. We care about the money because you're telling me, imagine somebody telling you about government contracts, right? Yo, you can do government contracts. You can start your business. And it's like, oh, okay, well, how much money can I make? And they say, shoot, you could probably make like $800 a year. You know, it's like, if you don't get out my face, okay? If you don't get out my face, if you say, oh, well, you could probably make $30,000 a year, and you making $80,000, $100,000, $120,000, $150,000, it's like, well, I can't quit my job for that. Like, is there more money out there? But you know, if they're like, yo, you could probably do $600,000 in 2 months. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now I'm focused. I wasn't paying attention. Did you say $600,000 in 2 months? Well, yeah. I need that. You can do that? You can do that consistently all year? $600,000 every 2 months, all year long? Oh my God! Show me how to do that. People want to know the numbers. So the same thing that happened with Gene them, they was teaching the information. You know, you're taught to not brag about the money, right? Especially when you really do it. They tell you don't be bragging, be humble, keep it keep it low. And so you're like, oh, I just want to give you guys the information. I just want to tell you guys, why aren't you guys paying attention? I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to show you. This is how you start a trucking company. This is how you do. Why aren't you listening? Because you ain't told us the numbers. So I said, yo, I really need to show these people the numbers. It's great that you want to give them good information, but they need to see the numbers. So he was like, well, how you expect me to do that? Like, what do you think? I said, so I'm like looking at the net statement, I see the net statement. I know they got these net statements when you close on the house or whatever. Show them that. This shit say $111,000 on one house profit. And you got 40 of these. You got 40 of these. Bro, show them that, Pat. Show them the numbers. Show them the check amount, something. Because they can see that. Now they know it's real. Now we locked in. This man sold 14 houses this year. And he profited no less than $80,000 on each house. Oh my God. I can do that. He got 3 houses closing in the same month. Oh my God. And he gonna net, $40,000 per house. He go, oh my God, I can do that. I can see it. He showed me it's real. That's what people want. That's just simple. People that simple. So when they started incorporating what they did, they took their statements from their closing statements and they would just pass them through the crowd. And it'd be like, you could see how recent they were. You could see how often they closed. You could see. And so that was the game changer right there for them, because people was able to lock in because they could see it was some real money. I can't really pay attention to you if I can't see the money. That's honestly. It's just really what it is. Anyway, I didn't even get up off here. I appreciate y'all coming out, checking in with me. If you know anybody who need to see this video, especially an influencer who you don't know if they actually really do what they say they doing, ooh, what about the war on influencers or something like that? Like, that'll be dope. War on influencers. I should change the title to this, to War on Influencers. I know I ain't calling nobody's name out. You know who does? JT the Pocket Watcher. You know, I don't know. Does anybody know who JT the Pocket Watcher is? Does anybody know who that is? If you do, like put $sign in the chat if you know who JT the Pocket Watcher is. If you don't know who it is, you need to go check him out. But I was doing videos way before JT the Pocket Watcher. Hold on, let me find out. Hold on. JT the Pocket Watcher, which is crazy because I know JT Automations and I know JT the Pocket Watcher, but I haven't met JT the Pocket Watcher though. But he has now 130. I got 40-some thousand subscribers, like low 40s. He now has 137,000 subscribers. It says that he only has 34 videos. Only 34 videos. Now he's also an accountant. He's a CFP, financial planner and stuff. So, but like, he has only 34 videos. He has 137,000 subscribers. But he does it by making people be honest. He called people out. He called people out. If you out here faking, he call you out. But I'm saying that because, well, I'm not saying it because, but he used to be one of like my kind of early subscribers before he like really even, I don't think he really even had a channel. He wasn't even doing videos yet. So I watched him grow and blow up, but he used to be on these lives watching. Shout out to him. But yeah, okay, I see $signs in the chat for sure. So, but JT will call you out. And I'm like, man, we might need to do a war on influence or something. I might need to link up with JT or something. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Ooh, that'd be crazy. I want to think about it. I like positivity. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, let's just be honest out here now. Like, everybody ain't really, and I ain't saying somebody got to be making like millions and millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? But what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I just want to get on here and say that. But I definitely appreciate everybody for coming out and kicking it with me. Right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. If you find any value in this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we out. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is